Hi, my name is Saisha Kapoor, and today I'm with Mr. Taylor, who is the CIO at JLL. On episode 3, we're going to talk about what it takes to be successful in the IT industry. So, how many years have you worked in IT and where?
Oh, I've worked in IT for a little over 20 years now. And at a couple of companies, about 12 of those years were spent with a financial institution called HSBC. And the last 8 have been spent with a real estate firm called JLL, formerly Jones Lang LaSalle. And that's spanned a few countries as well. I've worked in the US, I've worked in Brazil, I've worked in the United Kingdom, and I've worked partially in India for some time, but also spent a lot of time in the Far East, in Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Taiwan.
Wow. And what does a day in your life entail?
What does it not entail? Might be the right question, but our lives within the world of IT have lived two very different lives. One is a life of just making sure everything runs on a daily basis, right? That an organization can run and people can work the way they're supposed to. But there's also a side to it which involves continually innovating, continually knowing what else is going on in the world. Because in the world of IT, if you don't innovate and adapt, you're left behind very, very quickly.
Wow. Okay. And what were your undergrad and grad degrees?
They were both within very similar fields. My undergrad was in computer science, and my master's was here in the States in computer engineering.
Okay. And then, so why did you choose to go into IT?
Well, when it was time for me to pick a career, there were two reasons why I chose to get into this field. One was it was the up and coming field,
Mm.
um, in probably the most up and coming and the one with the most potential growth amongst everything else that
Mhm.
was in existence at that time. You always have the professions around medicine, law, etc. But there was a lot of interest and a lot of investment in
Mhm.
technology at the time. But that's not enough reason to pick a career. I had a very strong passion for technology ever
Mhm.
since I was a little child,
Yeah.
and didn't really consider doing anything different.
Great. And so, what is the compensation one can expect just starting off in this field?
It's a great question, and it varies dramatically based on where you're located.
Oh,
The IT skill set is in very high demand everywhere in the world, but the compensation varies quite drastically. I'd say in the United States, if you're looking at a career in technology, um, if it's a generic area of interest, it could start off in the $60,000 to $70,000 range.
okay.
But if you're very specialized in a certain area of technology or in IT, at one point in time, today it's AI, of course.
Yeah.
At one point in time, it was very briefly blockchain. There's
Yeah.
always been different areas that have dominated the market. Today it's AI. And if you're specialized in one of the more desired areas within technology,
Right.
starting salaries could be well over $100,000.
Wow. All right.
So it varies drastically. But this is for the United States alone. I mean,
Yeah.
it varies very much so in other countries across the world.
Got it. And what do you like most about your job?
I personally believe that no matter what you do, if you want to be successful at it, you've got to keep learning
Mhm.
every single day,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you're soon going to become what they call a so-called dinosaur,
Mhm.
right? And what technology gives you the opportunity to do because of how drastically it changes. I'll give you an example. If you look at AI,
Yeah.
OpenAI launched ChatGPT. When did it go? Make the news. It was about 2 years ago. I think around the time frame of November 2022. And if you look at the advancement between then and now, it's
Wow. Yeah.
drastic,
Yeah.
right? I actually heard
Yeah.
somewhere today that if the airline industry made as much progress as AI did
Mhm.
in the last 2 years, you should now be able to fly from New York to London in 19 seconds.
Wow.
That's how
That's
fast AI
crazy.
has grown,
Yes.
right?
Wow.
And anything that grows that fast and that quick for that long gives you gives you a field to learn in every single day.
Yeah.
And I know this is a long answer to your question, but what I love the most about what I do is just the opportunity it presents me with to learn every day that I go into the office.
Great. And so, what is some personality traits or like an important skill set you think is important for someone in IT?
I won't hold this down to IT alone, but if you ask me, whatever profession you choose, you've got to have a passion for it, and you've got to have a desire and a curiosity to go in and learn more every
Mm-hmm.
day. Regardless of profession, whether it's IT, whether you're in medicine, whether you're in consulting, I'd say that is the number one trait because if it's something you enjoy doing,
Yeah,
that is one of the paths to becoming a success in
for
what you're
sure.
doing. Now, a degree does help, but the technology skill set with all the resources available today
Hmm.
is something you can learn very, very quickly.
Yeah.
If you take Python programming, it's a
Yeah.
slightly older language now.
Yeah.
But for someone who doesn't know Python today, they could come back 2 weeks from now and know pretty much as much Python as a few developers out there know.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
very easy to learn the skill set. So obviously, you've got to learn the technologies that you're interested in. But I think much more important than that is have a real desire and passion and
Hmm.
hunger to know
Yeah.
more about the world of technology. And I'll close this question out by saying this. I think almost every job out there today is an IT job
Mm.
because whether you're working in finance, whether you're working in HR, if you're running a business, or if you're working in technology,
Yeah.
there is an element of technology you have
Yeah.
to understand.
For sure.
And yeah, so I think almost every job out there qualifies in some shape or form as an IT job.
Wow. Interesting. And then, what is one piece of advice you have for someone who is interested in this field?
Learn, 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 learn.
Yeah.
Stay abreast of the technologies in place today, right? When whether you're at a job already or you're going into an interview for a job, be aware of the latest advancements
Mhm.
and have a hunger.
Yeah.
Have a hunger to continuously learn. And I'll say this again, I've said it before. If you
Mm.
don't stay on the continuous learning journey, you will outdate yourself very
Yeah.
quickly.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This was super informative. And if anyone else has any further questions, leave them down below in the comments.
Thank you.
Of course.